Is the Orc Warboss any good in patch 6.0.5? I wanted to go over the basic Warboss as a baseline for comparing other lords. It used to be we had the General of the Empire to compare to, but orcs are meant to be beefy, and that's reflected here. There's nothing wrong with the Warboss, and the fact that he gets a flying mount puts him in territory that Grimgor will never reach, namely the sky. But Greenskins have very little in terms of an air force, hence the Empire comparison. Let's take a look at the Hard as Nails basic Warboss. Recruit for a nominal 1000 gold for 250 upkeep. On Ultra he comes in at 4376 health. Armor is 70, and very rare for this faction, he not only has a shield, it's a silver quality shield blocking 55% of small arms fire. Missile resistance 15% separate from that is hero standard. Leadership 70 befits a melee Warboss. Speed is 36 with charge speed 45, sounds about right. Melee attack 58 sounds odd, although the number is technically even. Yes, math puns. Attack interval the standard 4. Splash target size is medium, so regular cavalry on down, and max circus damage is only 4 in the new system, which is to the Warboss's overall benefit. Melee defense 46 is decent considering it's an orc. Weapon strength 400 is split between base 120 and armor piercing 280, so this is a melee, foot, armor piercing lord, which is a ton of value. Charge bonus of 60 is almost unheard of for a foot lord, and mass of 1200 is no slouch. On a war boar, upkeep rises to 275, health to 5006, armor is 70, and the shield is retained. Speed 70 and charge speed 104 are a lot better than before. Nearly all the other stats are the same, but charge bonus is 80 and mass 1800. On a boar chariot, not available in campaign, boo, upkeep 300, if it was in, health 5244, armor 80 with the same shield, speed the same, melee attack 42, splash target size very large, max targets 4, melee defense 26, weapon strength 370 split base 140 and AP 230, bonus versus infantry of 30, charge bonus 80, mass 1500. Finally, on a not feral Wyvern, upkeep rises to 375, which frankly is nowhere near as high as some mounts, health to 6648, armor 70 with no shield, missile resistance 25% base, not 15%, speed 110, charge speed 120, that's in the air, less on the ground. Melee attack is 45, base plus poison, attack interval 4, splash target size large, so trolls on down, max targets hit 5. Melee defense is 32 base, so that's a loss. Weapon strength 450 is split base 150 and AP 300, charge bonus 80, mass is 2300. There is no bonus versus large or infantry. This siege attacker causes fear and terror and obviously flies. Let's go over the blue line skills briskly. Root Marcher is your usual 1 pip, 5% movement range boost. Death from Below gives underground evasion chance plus 30%. Yeah, don't forget you have underway stances Greenskins. Raider gives raiding income plus 30%, and raiding camp is your basic encampment stance too. Looter is plus 15% to occupy and loot income. Ravager is plus 15% for sacking. Most people will want this one. Iron Hard gives Lord Casualty replenishment plus 30% and wound recovery time -1. Well, that's useful for Immortal Lords. Can't do that if you're dead. Lightning Strike is the same thing as it's been, enemy reinforcement time delay, and the chance to sacrifice your own fatigue for hitting an army without reinforcements on either side. Outclevering can add up to 30% ambush success chance for your side, which is not a small boost. Mob Boss reduces upkeep by up to 9%. Really Green shaves up to 3 points of corruption at 3 pips. Renowned and Feared Capstone gives upkeep -8%, campaign movement plus 5%, enemy hero chance -10%, enemy hero wound chance plus 25%, and recruit rank +1 for that army. The red line is standard Greenskins with a rally-like center pip and smash 'em faster for the capstone, which is the spiritual opposite of stand your ground. It's leadership plus 16 and melee attack plus 24 in 35 meters for 30 seconds of duration. Cooldown at 60 on Get Back Ear, the rally equivalent, and 90 on Smash 'em Faster. Good stuff. I'll go over the yellow line, intending this to be the baseline for all other Lord videos. Blade Master starts the line plus 5 melee attack at 1 pip. Devastating Charge is plus 30 charge bonus at 2 pips, and I pointed this out, but this Lord has some seriously high charge bonus for a generic Lord. Choppas grants plus 20% weapon strength at 2 pips. Scarred Veteran is plus 15% health at 2 pips, Deadly Blade is plus 12 melee attack at 2 pips. Foe Seeker is the old plus 25% speed, and Fatigue Reduction active skill, 25 second duration, 60 second cooldown. Hard to Hit is plus 12 melee defense at 2. Indomitable is plus 12 leadership at 2. Thick-Skinned is plus 15 armor at 2, and to be blunt, this is a high but not super high armored lord, so plus 15 can really matter. Woundmaker is another plus 20% weapon strength at 2 pips. This isn't a common thing. Finally, Deadly Onslaught is the old active ability capstone, but plus 25% to both types of melee damage, and plus 60% charge bonus for 30 seconds, 9 second cooldown. On a lord with charge bonus this high naturally is really something else. In the top line, Tunnel Boss is plus 6 leadership for your armies when fighting underground in both sieges and intercepts. Dodgy Geezer is plus 10% missile resistance. Bellower is plus 25% leadership aura. And at rank 12, you can pick from 2 mutually exclusive 1-pip wonders, Big Ed trophies and Small Ed trophies, granting a bonus versus large of 15 or a bonus versus infantry of 15, your pick. Both have their places, but if I had to choose, I'd go with the Big Ed's one most of the time. For the personal line at rank 12, Back on Your Feet grants casualty replenishment plus 5% for orc units and orc units only, and 10% vigor loss reduction, aka fatigue buildup reduction, for the entire army, orcs or otherwise. Boss of the Field grants plus 20% duration, plus 20% effect radius, and minus 30% cooldown to get back ear and smash them faster from the red line, which means this is an actual good, competent war boss for buffing the army. Get the Boys grants recruitment cost minus 20%, and recruit rank plus 1 for that army, and local recruitment capacity plus 1 for that province. Call Dawag grants charge bonus plus 7 and speed plus 10% for orc infantry units in that army only. Finally, the Biggest Axe grants the Warboss himself melee attack plus 4 and armor piercing damage plus 50. So 280 becomes 330 on foot, and so on. It's definitely nice, and fits nicely with Deadly Onslaught pouring on the bonuses, plus any items you equip. So how do we use the Orc Warboss? Clearly the Warboss is bringing an awful lot to the field, and also to the strategic layer because minus 20% recruitment cost is really good, and this isn't even a Necromancer. So he's good both in armor-piercing personal combat ability and in his ability to learn army buffs that give you an edge, primarily with orcs and orc infantry in particular, but never exactly weak elsewhere. So while acknowledging you can use him in a lot of ways, special attention should be given to the Wyvern mount. It's not a high health mount, but wow is it shockingly fast, and it flies. You will have an easy time getting to wherever you think your warboss is needed most. The problem is that barring some special WoW rewards, he's likely to be flying in alone, though Alliance units might be able to say something about that. So keeping your warboss alive may take a little effort, but he's refreshingly resilient against missile attack relative to a fair number of lords. There are so many ways to use him that we should simply rejoice that he is so flexible, and keep in mind he's not nearly as tough as a giant. So, value your warbosses, and they should play their role well. Resilient anchors for your armies. And, try not to lose them. Take care, and have fun bossing those lesser orcs around.